What's good, y'all? It's your boy Mixtape Moth, and today we're gonna talk about this new album from the Houston rap legend Zero entitled Pressure. So Zero, the Mo City Don, aka the King of the Ghetto, aka Rother Vandross, aka Joseph McVeigh, is a staple in Houston rap culture and one of the most unsung Southern rappers in the game. He's been putting it down since the late 90s, working on the independent scene, despite being signed to Rap a Lot for a period of time. Now, obviously with Zero, he is known for effortlessly mixing, harmonizing with rapping. Yes, there were some folks who did it before Drake, people. But getting right into this project, Pressure, it has a dope cover art with Zero writing rhymes in his rhyme book, and the bars are so hot that they're scorching the pages. It contains 20 songs and lasts approximately an hour and 10 minutes, so it's a long one. The only feature is Lolita Monroe, who is Zero's artist signed to his One Deep Entertainment label. Now, you know Zero doesn't like hanging around a lot of people, so he must really see something in this new artist. But with that being said, let me go ahead and hit y'all with this track-by-track breakdown. This thing opens with the Pressure intro, which has a cinematic string backdrop with a Tupac vocal sample on the hook. There is a sense of urgency to Ro's vocals that complement this beat as he raps. Homie, this ain't the type of rap that you should wear a dress to, and fuck is that, a handbag, homie? I carry all my shit, ain't a handbag on me. So obviously Zero is not a fan of some of the styles and the fashion that the younger artists have been wearing these days, which makes him come across as an old head, which is cool. Although I do want to point out that Young Thug did wear a dress and he ended up being one of the most gangster cats out. But I digress. Track 2, Man Hold Up. It has a twangy and chopped and screwed beat that was made for the slabs. It's the vintage Zero sound. He does switch up his flow throughout, and once again, he does target the skinny jean wearers with lines like, ain't gonna catch me in those skinny jeans, that's where I draw the line. Track 3, Where My Guys, is one of the standouts, without a doubt. I love the twinkling pianos and Zero's soulful hook. It's heartfelt pain music for the trenches. Zero states, they say that I'm the king of this pain shit, cause every single day I'm going through the same shit. Track 4 is Roll One Deep, which has a plush an atmospheric backdrop. We are getting a lot of harmonizing and a catchy hook from Ro, who vows to continue to roll one deep. The following track, That's Me, is a bass thumping banger with Zero doing heavy boasting. He raps about his money, riding foreigns, and having shooters on deck. He has a line that jumped out at me. It's 3:30 in the morning right now, but I'm gonna be at the gym by 10 o'clock. And that one really resonated with me. Personal fun fact, I was actually in Houston on a vacation with my boys, and we're coming back from the club, strip club, around that time, 3:34 in the morning. They still wanted to turn up, but I'm like, can y'all be quiet? I gotta go to sleep so I can hit the gym around 9, 10 o'clock. So after hearing Zero say this, it just confirmed that I was on the right path back then. Track 6 is Never Fold, which has a breezy and feel-good instrumental. Now, this is a perseverance anthem about never giving up and staying 10 toes down. And Zero glides effortlessly over this velvety instrumental, and it ends up being one of my favorites from the project. He slows down the tempo a bit for the next song, Fall Back. It's a relationship record where he questions the motives of some of the women in his life over a silky R&B type beat. This is Zero in Rother Vandross mode, as he coldly states, you can never be my bitch, just a bitch in my video. Right after, he turns up the heat a notch with Heaven for a Gangsta, where he pays homage to Master P over a darker and aggressive trap beat. Altogether, it's a very solid cut. What follows is Lord Knows, featuring Lolita Monroe. It's a soulful and heartfelt track. It's a little spiritual. Here, Zero talks about keeping the faith, while he and Lolita both kill the hook. He also addresses the status of Traded Truth in ABN, which unsurprisingly hasn't changed. Zero states, stop asking me about ABN. I already told y'all I'm through with that. And my thoughts have been, if Jeezy and Gucci can squash their beef, then there was hope for Trey and Zero, but I guess that's wishful thinking. The subsequent song, Playa, has a bright and mellow soul sample that is fitting for the title. It's something smooth for the max, the players, the hustlers, and pimps. I have zero complaints with this, as it is something smooth that you could ride out to on a Sunday. Track 11, Waiting for a Check, has a cool, crisp, and atmospheric beat. On this one, Ro talks about his plans to expand and to make even more money. The hook is supremely catchy, and I think it was dope that after all his success, Zero is still motivated to get an even bigger bag. The Following Shindig is something laid back and smooth for the cookouts. There is somewhat of a G-Funk quality to this instrumental, and Zero is in full Macish mode, reminding us that he's not a sucker for love or not the husband type. He's really embracing his player ways. Afterwards is the stunting anthem On My Neck, which has a lush and wavy instrumental. The electric guitar is a nice touch. Ro talks about his desire to get a whole house put around his neck. I'm sure Johnny Dang is going to have something to do with that. It's a chill banger that you could likely relate to if you are a boss player with bread. Track 14, Murderland Laud, has a slower and somber instrumental. There's a reggae style hook that was cool, but sonically I didn't consider this to be one of the standouts. It's solid. He does speak on rappers getting killed for coming back to their hood and how it's important to stay dangerous, even though he doesn't want to harm anyone. But the reality of the situation is that you still got to roll around with that thing on you. Track 15, Everywhere I Go, is another wavy banger with a cloudy trap beat. And we get an epic hook from Zero, who vows to do two things. Never sell a soul, and guess what? Never wear skinny jeans. Come on, Zero. Like, I honestly think some of the youngins are wearing baggier jeans now. If you've seen it a lot recently, you see cats with bigger, baggier jeans. Then on Live It Up, Ro toasts to his success over a chill 80s R&B style beat, and he even interpolates a new edition melody on the chorus. It's something smooth and laid back for the summertime. Track 17 is HTown Legend, which has a breezy and triumphant instrumental. Now, I felt the song was cool, but I guess I expected just a little bit more given the title. Perhaps maybe a feature would have been put to good use here. Track 18 is Gon' Eat, where we get a darker cinematic beat. The pianos were really striking. Zero approaches this record with a bit more urgency too, as he proclaims that if you ain't working, then you ain't eating. The second to last song is Acting Funny. Now this has more of a 90s Dirty South production flair to it. I love how the Outkast Jazzy Bell sample is worked into this beat. Ro vents on how people change up and switch up on him all the time, but some of these same folks have the nerve to say that he's the one acting funny. Then the album wraps up with Fifth, which has a fun and quirky beat that sounds like it samples an obscure Spanish song. Ro comes through with easily the most animated hook on the project, and it's a solid way to wrap things up. Overall, I give this album a rating of a strong 3.5 mics. I wouldn't be mad if someone gave this 4 mics, especially considering how many strong songs there were out of 20. It's another consistent and dope release from the Mo City Don. He seemed a little hungrier and a little more inspired on this than his last couple of releases. I definitely like this project more than To the Hard Way from 2021. I'd say it's even better than Muhammad Ali as well, and all things considered, is probably on par with his 2017 project No Love Boulevard. As far as the production was concerned, I did enjoy the bulk of it, even on some of the less interesting beats. Zero's dynamic vocal performance carried the tracks. The man sure has a knack for crafting some of the most unique and original hooks in hip-hop. To keep it a buck, my only real issue with this project was the length. And I say that because rarely these days do I prefer if an album is over the 40-minute mark. And I might be saying this selfishly as a music reviewer, because anything over the 40-minute mark can just be more time consuming. With that said, this is a solid project and it shows a rejuvenated Zero with plans to level up even more. My favorite tracks include Man Hold Up, Where My Guys At, That's Me, Never Fold, Waiting on a Check, On My Neck, Live It Up, Acting Funny, and Fifth. Let me know what you thought about this album in the comment section. It's your boy Mixtape Moth. I'm signing out, but be sure to hit that like button and please subscribe. As always, it's peace and blessings. Zero Pressure 1.